Hello, my name is Kate and my website is thesquirrelchase.com, and today I'd like to show you how to create an artistic effect using the GIMP. I call it the Tinted Sketch effect. This is a composite technique that looks a bit like a watercolor wash over a pencil sketch. It works really well with different styles of photography, from landscapes to close-ups of flowers, and I'm going to demonstrate it with a picture from the city, a sidewalk picture. So let's get going here. The first thing you want to do is resize your image to the size that you want to work with. I have found with this particular technique that you want to work with your final image size, because sometimes if you scale it after you've done it, it can look kind of weird one way or another. So the first step to apply this technique is to make 2 duplicate layers of your image. You can do that either by pressing on this sort of double box icon down here, or you can do it in the layers panel by just clicking duplicate layer, or you can use the sort of hotkey called Shift-Control-D. I'll do it 2 different ways here. I place these layers into a layer group that I call Sketch. I do this because sometimes I really like the effect that the color has before I desaturate it, and I like to save that for use later. So the 2 layers I call the base layer, which stays as the original image, and the working layer. So with the working layer selected, I change the blend mode, which you do here, to dodge. Yuck, huh? And then it's going to get even worse, because the next step is to go into the colors tab here and come down and invert the colors. And it's all gone away. But never fear. The next step is to go into the filters menu, come down to distorts, and select value propagate. Inside this panel, you choose for the mode more black, the second one down. And now you can see that you're starting to get a sketch effect even with just the one cycle. Now, a lot of times you want to increase the sort of density of the lines, and you can do that by reapplying the same filter with the same settings. You can do that by clicking repeat here under the filters menu, or Control F. I'm going to do it twice. Usually 2 to 4 times will get you a nice effect, and you can experiment with it. So now we've got something that looks a bit like a colored pencil sketch, and we're going to I've got the group, the layer group selected, and I'm going to duplicate that. Now I'm going to desaturate both the base layer and the working layer for my duplicate group. You do that by going to the colors tab, down to desaturate, and select desaturate. I leave it at the default of luminance. You can certainly experiment with that to get different effects. Desaturate again. So now you have a black and white that has the lines emphasized, and it looks a bit like a pencil sketch. So I'm going to call this pencil sketch. And just to compare it, here's the colored sketch and here's the pencil sketch. Now I'm going to come down and I'm going to duplicate the original image. And I'm going to take that copy up to the very top of the layers. And it didn't go. Where did it go? It didn't go. Okay, here we go. Up to the top. Okay. Now I'm going to call it tint. I'm not very good at typing. And I am going to create a layer mask that is totally black. You can do that by going to mask, add layer mask here, or you can do that by right-clicking on the layer, which brings up this menu, and you can say add layer mask. I'm going to add black, full transparency, so nothing shows through. Now I'm going to come over and I'm going to select the paintbrush tool. Now you can choose from amongst any of the brushes that you have. In this case, I have smoke selected. This is one of GIMP's basic brushes that come when you load GIMP into your computer. Some of these powder brushes work very well. And now what you want to do is ensure that your foreground color is white and that your black layer mask is selected. That means there's a white frame around it. And now you can paint in a little bit of color from your original image. This is the artsy part where you can get the effects that you want. And so there you have it. This is a pencil type sketch with some color brought in from the original image as a composite, and it creates what I call a tinted sketch effect. I hope you can have some fun with it, and happy editing, and take care.